Welcome back to the Plus Side of Nashville. We've been talking about foster parenting, and my guests are Ellen Blasing. She is the clinical supervisor for Youth Villages, and Pam Buck, who's a Youth Villages foster and adoptive parent. And before we went to the break, Pam, you had said that you've had hundreds of foster children that have come through your doors over the last 18 years, which is amazing. And you have been able to develop some relationships with some of the families.
Yes, the birth families. A lot of our children do get to return home with the proper counseling, you know, with the children and the families. And I've had friends that, you know, I call friends now that we have fostered their children and helped them return home.
Because, as we said before, that is the ultimate goal. And is that what you encourage of the foster parents? Do they have to sort of try to make any sort of connection with the parents?
I mean, they don't have to, but it works so much better if they do. You know, all the support that I'm giving my foster parents, if they can also show that to the birth families, those birth families, a lot of the reasons why kids are in custody is because they don't have the parenting skills. So, you know, the more we can really use our foster parents as a bridge for success for our kids, the better the outcomes really are.
It really is. Well, if Pam is one family, has fostered over 100, how many foster parents do we have in Middle Tennessee?
Yeah, so for Youth Villages, we have about 160, 170 families in Middle Tennessee.
Wow, but we still need more.
Yes.
And you were telling me earlier too, Ellen, that you know, you have a sort of a good bad story in that a child has come into your custody. But one has got to go home. So it's kind of like a trade. Explain what you were talking about.
Yeah, so very recently, just over the weekend, we had a child who was able to go home to his biological family. He's starting that process and will be there permanently. But even in the middle of that, we already have another child who we're targeting for placement at that home. So it's very much, once that bed is open, we already have a child that's ready to step into it.
And you have certain foster homes in which they say maybe we want a child, or some that maybe say, you know, we only want a teenager. Do you try to work with the foster on the sort of matching of the child with them?
Yes, definitely. When families first come through and become a foster parent with us, we ask them for a snapshot of what they're interested in, whether it's male or female, if there are any behaviors that they really don't think would be a good fit for their home, just depending on, you know, the makeup of the home. And we really try and work with them with that. We have placement staff who, when they get those referrals in, like I was talking about, they will already have a list of families running through their mind that, oh, this child, this is exactly what they're looking for. Even in adoptive situations, we can pretty much target what that family is interested in, and that kid's out there. We can find them that placement.
Wow. Pam, do you think you will adopt more?
Yes.
You automatically know that. You just automatically know.
Yes. Yeah.
And
the need is great.
The need is great.
It is.
And you see yourself as a foster parent for as long as you can be a foster parent.
As long as I can.
Tell me about your husband. Because you have to be on the same page.
Yes,
you
definitely.
You came through the system, but did he?
No, he did not.
And did you?
I was able to return home, you know, and that's another reason I work with birth families as well, you know, is sometimes things get tough.
Yeah, they most certainly do.
And they need that extra help. So,
how often would you say that they've reached out to you about bringing another child into your home? Is that ongoing, like every week? Do you get a call?
Not every week. Our home is full. So
at this point,
if it wasn't, then yes.
It is. At this point, yeah. Well, I admire so much of what you do, and I know that that's what you want. More Pams and her husband to come through. If people, Ellen, are interested in becoming foster parent, what do they need to do?
Give us a call.
Is it that simple?
It is that simple. There is a training process, and we provide all of the training for that. There's no cost to it. We cover everything. We'll even feed you when you show up. and we have staff that do the home study, and truly from week one we're starting to get to know you. We're starting to get an idea of what kind of placement would be good for your home. We're starting to identify those placements so that by the time they're fully certified, we know what they're interested in. We've a lot of times already found a placement.
Yes.
And we don't expect everybody to adopt 11 kids or even adopt at all. We have plenty of families who they just want to help kids return home. So it really is a spectrum. There really is a place for everybody, and we just need people that are willing to help.
So if someone is interested, but maybe they feel like financially they're maybe not quite there. It takes a lot to 11 children. Do you offer any sort of financial assistance?
There are a couple of financial options. There is a daily per diem reimbursement rate. So we understand that when you have kids, especially teenage boys,
yes,
that's an extra mouth to feed, that's an extra body to clothe. So there is a financial reimbursement to help cover those costs that you've invested in that child. And honestly, the same after an adoption too. There's a financial assistance because the need is great, and we want to help people, give these kids permanency. And if the financial piece is all that's standing in the way, we'll help with that. We've bought families beds before, or we'll help people however we can.
Okay, well, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about foster parenting and how you can perhaps someday be like Pam. Just one child even would be a big help, so stay with us.